Um, I am still in Paris. I am a month away from coming back to the United States, which is really sad, actually. Um, when I just sit here and think about the little things that I experience because I live in Paris versus being a tourist in Paris, I know deep down that I'm going to miss it. So, yeah, I just got to take advantage of every last minute that I have here. I just went on a fall break in Barcelona, which was pretty sweet. Traveling is so easy when you're actually just abroad. So it's like an hour to any country in Europe, and I have a Europe passport. So things pretty easy. My dad is British and my mother is French, so I have a lot of relatives over here. So what I've done is taken trips to London and come out to all my extended family, which I guess coming out is a theme for this video, but all my extended family knows now. One really cute event was when my little cousin, after I'd arrived, we were having breakfast one morning, and I don't know how she's like 8 now, yeah, I think. But she was eating breakfast, and she was like, "When you first walked in the door, I thought you were a boy." And I was like, "Oh, did you?" She was like, "Yeah, you used to have long hair." Because the last time I saw her was when I was like 14 or 12, I think, when I had long hair. And I think she really looked up to me back then, because her brother and all of her friends are all boys, so... Well, I don't know. I can't really tell you. But yeah, anyway, so she was like, "Yeah, you look different." I was like, And so then I came out to her and I told her everything and hoped for the best, and it was really cute because her response was, "I want to be a boy too sometimes." So yeah, that was adorable, and she accepted it, and it was really nice. My family's kind of queer, I should mention that too. My mom's twin, aka this person, so my aunt, this is my aunt's kid who told me this, and my aunt has a partner, and they have kids together, and then my mom and her twin's brother has 2 daughters who are in their 20s, late 20s, I think, and they're both lesbian identified, so our family's kind of cool. So it wasn't that hard to come out to them, but I was also obviously still nervous because changing your life and transitioning is not the same as just being like, "Hey, I have a different sexuality." And for some people it's just as nerve-wracking, obviously. Coming out is just coming out. But because we're in Europe, we were able to go out for drinks, and I went out with my aunt and my cousins who came down, and we went and got some mojitos, and then I told them, and apparently my mother had already informed her side of the family, but everybody was just waiting for me to actually confront them, so that was cool. And it's all up to me starting testosterone and changing my name, so everybody's kind of waiting on me, and that's where October comes in. So I think my last video was made in September, when I'd first arrived, and I was getting used to the cool new style in Paris, the culture, the way that things work here, the anonymity of being a study abroad student, not having the expectations or influences of anybody around me, not having people know me at all, know what pronouns I use. So I talked about this in my last video. Use the correct bathroom now for me. I use the male bathroom. I'm not afraid of it because I don't know anybody here and nobody's going to call me out. I actually feel like I can't go anywhere near female bathrooms anymore because I'll get screamed at and kicked out, which actually happened in the first month. And yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. But some incidences happened where just like it reassured me that I was doing the right thing. Or made me more confident. One thing I think I lacked last year and 6 months ago even was the ability to make a decision, because I was so nervous about what being a male would entail, whether stepping from one binary into the other would confine me again, and whether being genderqueer was the answer to that. But I mean, after living and questioning my whole gender identity for 5 years now, thinking about my entire childhood, the way that I view myself and my sexuality, and putting together just the way that I view gender in general, I know that I need to transition. I don't feel comfortable without testosterone. October, I hit a big depression. Not ashamed to say it. I just got lazy and lethargic. Obviously, everybody at the center and everybody in my life in Paris refers to me as a male, so I've come out to a lot of people, but I have not started my physical transition. So all of these people know that I am going to change myself, but then there's this rough reality that I have to face, that that I am not able to actually do what I'm telling everybody I am going to do, because I postponed my transition by going abroad. And I knew maybe eventually down the line here I would face all of these heavy thoughts about the fact that I postponed my transition, and I knew I'd have to deal with it, and it's true. In October, I just couldn't pull myself to do homework. I started to write about my transition in my class because I'm in this non-fiction workshop. Nonfiction, yeah. And we're writing about being a foreign body, and my professor knows, so the first essay we had to turn in, I turned in like a 13-page paper, and it should only have been 5 pages. And she was actually pretty shocked in a good way, so that's been positive for me. Yeah. So it does mean that now my transition thoughts are everywhere. They're now in my school life. They're at home when I come back to my room and I'm alone here. They're, just when I talk to my parents, because my parents all ask about my transition thoughts and whatever progress. So yeah, that's just kind of what got me down in October, and I just felt really stifled and frustrated because I was 2 months away from coming home and starting anything. So now that I'm a month away, I have actually looked back and been like, wow, look how much confidence I've gained in dealing with a lot of stuff by myself. Just being an independent person and studying abroad has been a really good experience for me. Getting to know my mom's past here in France, getting to know the culture, I love this city, and I'm coming back, and it's frustrating that I'm leaving, but I'm ready to start my life in my gender identity, and I need the inside to be what people actually see, rather than me try and articulate it constantly and then deal with the fact that nothing is actually happening to change my physical appearance. What's interesting is that I'm going to be going back to college, and I was identifying with, I don't know if I already said this in this video, but I was identifying with female pronouns and a male name there. And what's interesting is my mom wants to rename me, potentially, so that could rock the boat a little bit. I'm gonna have to tell everybody, oh hey, I'm me now. I'm identifying with male pronouns, and that is completely how I feel comfortable. That is me. I'm not contemplating any of these fears anymore and letting anything hold me back. Like, I am at the age where I feel comfortable. Let's start this shit ASAP. But changing the name is interesting. My mom wants to call me Seth, so I don't know what anybody thinks about that, but she calls it a good Jewish boy name. So that's my final decision, obviously. But I'll have to decide before I go back to school in January whether or not I will be changing my name. I am trying so hard. I have emailed so many therapists and people to try and get in contact with an endo before I go back to school, but I'm not sure if that'll happen, and if it does, I've worked so hard on myself that it's just going to be, so rewarding. I don't really know how to explain what it means to finally be at this point and be confident and be ready and just be, happy with myself. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys